Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 554, The Signal, Part 2, Intermediate. Elena stared at the alien ship, its massive form hovering silently above the Arctic ice. The hum from the metal structure grew louder, vibrating through her bones and echoing in the vast frozen wasteland. The ship's surface shimmered with strange pulsating lights, casting an eerie blue glow across the snow-covered ground. General Carter barked orders, his voice tense and urgent over the howling wind. "Get back to the jet. We need to report this." The team scrambled, their boots crunching on the snow as icy winds whipped around them, stinging their faces. Elena hesitated, her eyes locked on the ship, drawn by its mysterious presence. A beam of light shot down from the craft, illuminating the structure with a blinding intensity. The ground split open with a deep rumbling sound, revealing a hidden chamber buried deep beneath the ice. Inside, they found strange machines pulsing with energy, their surfaces covered in symbols that glowed faintly in the dim light. The markings were unlike any human language, twisting and shifting as if alive, creating an otherworldly atmosphere. Elena's hand shook as she recorded everything with her device, her scientific curiosity battling her growing fear. The signal's map had led them here for a reason, but what was its purpose? Suddenly, a voice echoed through the chamber, calm yet commanding. "You have activated the beacon. Prepare for judgment." The team froze, weapons raised, their breaths visible in the cold air. Judgment? Was this a test, a declaration of war, or something else entirely? Back at the jet, Elena analysed the new data under the dim cabin lights, her mind racing with possibilities. The signal wasn't just a message, it was a test. The aliens weren't watching Earth, assessing its worth based on its actions and history. The twisted images of burning cities weren't threats. They were predictions drawn from humanity's past wars and conflicts. If they failed this judgment, the ship might enforce that fate, turning the visions into reality. She shared her findings with Carter, her voice steady despite her nerves. "We need to prove we've changed," she said firmly. He nodded grimly. "Then we fight for our future. Contact the world leaders immediately." Days later, a secret meeting took place in a secure bunker deep underground. Elena presented her evidence, urging unity and peace among the nations. Despite their differences, leaders agreed to a global ceasefire, a rare and fragile moment of cooperation after decades of war. The signal shifted, its tone softening like a sigh of relief, as if acknowledging their effort. The ship descended slowly, and a tall, shimmering being emerged, its form both beautiful and terrifying, with eyes that seemed to hold the weight of the cosmos. It spoke. "Your choice is noted. Earth may continue." The ship vanished into the clouds, leaving the structure dormant and silent. Elena returned to her lab, exhausted but filled with a cautious hope. The world wasn't perfect, but it had been granted a second chance. As she watched the flickering city lights through her window, she wondered what other signals waited in the silence. Would humanity hold on to this peace, or would new threats emerge from the stars? For now, she focused on her work, knowing the universe held more mysteries to unravel. The clock on her desk read 05:37 p.m. BST, marking the moment she began her next chapter. Vocabulary notes. Vibrating, verb, present participle, used as an adjective in the story. Definition, moving or shaking rapidly, often producing a buzzing or humming sound. Example, the hum from the metal structure grew louder, vibrating through her bones. Context, describes the intense physical sensation Elena feels from the alien technology, adding to the suspense. Similar words, shaking, moving with short, quick motions, e.g., the ground was shaking during the earthquake. Trembling, shaking slightly, often from fear or cold, e.g., her hands were trembling as she held the device. Quivering, shaking with small rapid movements, e.g., the leaves were quivering in the wind. Note, vibrating suggests a powerful continuous motion, fitting the story's otherworldly technology. Hesitated, verb, past tense. Definition, paused or delayed before acting, often due to uncertainty or fear. Example, Elena hesitated, her eyes locked on the ship. Context, shows Elena's moment of doubt or fascination before following the team, building tension. Similar words, paused, stopped briefly, e.g., he paused to think before answering. Wavered, showed indecision or uncertainty, e.g., she wavered before making the choice. Dithered, hesitated or wasted time due to indecision, e.g., they dithered about leaving the room. Note, hesitated often implies a conflict between action and emotion, common in suspenseful moments. Assessing, verb, present participle in the story. Definition, evaluating or judging the value, quality, or importance of something. Example, the aliens were watching Earth, assessing its worth. Context, explains the aliens' purpose, suggesting a critical evaluation of humanity's behavior. Similar words, evaluating, judging or calculating the worth, e.g., the teacher was evaluating the student's work. Judging, forming an opinion or conclusion, e.g., they were judging the situation carefully. Appraising, assessing the value or condition, e.g., he was appraising the old house. Note, assessing is often used in formal or analytical contexts, fitting Elena's scientific role. Grimly, adverb. Definition, in a serious, gloomy or stern manner, often suggesting determination or concern. Example, he nodded grimly, then we fight for our future. Context, reflects General Carter's serious resolve in the face of the alien threat. Similar words, solemnly, in a serious or formal way, e.g., she spoke solemnly at the meeting. Bleakly, in a hopeless or depressing manner, e.g., he looked bleakly at the ruined city. Sternly, in a strict or severe way, e.g., the officer spoke sternly to the team. Note, grimly adds a layer of determination mixed with worry, enhancing the story's tone. Dormant, adjective. Definition, inactive or asleep, often temporarily, with the potential to become active again. Example, the ship vanished, leaving the structure dormant and silent. Context, describes the alien structure after the ship's departure, hinting at future possibilities. Similar words, inactive, not active or in use, e.g., the volcano remained inactive for years. Asleep, in a state of rest or inactivity. e.g., the forest was asleep in winter. Quiescent, quiet or temporarily still, e.g., the machine lay quiescent in the corner. Note, dormant suggests something waiting to be awakened, adding an element of suspense to the ending. Story written by Grok 3 AI. Image created by Grok 3 AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.